Hello everyone and welcome to the Geek Pride podcast. I am Sean Wallace.
I am Brittany Gergen.
I'm Matt Geary.
And I'm Mike Orbis.
Hello everyone. Had a 1 week sabbatical, I guess. A bunch of people doing different things, and we ran out of space on the hosting.
Yeah.
So we couldn't afford to put another podcast up.
It's so poor.
Because we're broke.
So if anyone wants to sponsor us,
Yes,
Like I said, we'll wear your t-shirts and your hats.
yeah,
We
we'll
will.
totally do
We
that.
will.
we will wear anything.
We will
Lovely.
suck corporate cock for money.
It'll be
Any
like that
shameless plug.
It'll be like that scene from Wayne's World.
Yeah, we could have like posters in the background and things like that. Or anything that will happen. We'll call ourselves Greek Pride if the country of Greece wants to support us.
Really? Of all the countries, Greece?
Right?
I'm aiming at the kind of country who'd actually want to sponsor us, like the amount of money
They've
they
got
have
no money.
available. Yeah, exactly. So their PR budget would put them in our price range.
And Geek Pride is sponsored by hummus.
A man with bells on their shoes.
And smashing cutlery or something. Crockery.
Cutlery.
Cutlery. If you're smashing cutlery, you're doing really well.
I'm just that much of a
Throwing
man.
forks at the ground.
Yeah,
They never take you into restaurants, do they, Mike? Because every time you shatter at least
Yeah.
one knife.
I'm just like, oh, the smash! I do that like, every time I have a drink I like. I'm like Thor. I'm like, bring me another! I'm smashing plates everywhere. They hate it.
Brittany, what's it like to be the only person without a beard here?
I'm feeling pretty left out, you know?
Well, it's
I
like,
need...
You can't think properly if you don't have a beard because like you're thinking.
I know, I don't have anything to stroke while I think, and you know, yeah.
It's like we were out having a few drinks on Friday, and me and my friend were talking about because we've got a space left when we go to Dubrovnik, and we're thinking about who can come with us, and we were both sitting there stroking our beards, going, and my girlfriend's going, what are you doing? It's like if you've got a beard, you've got to stroke it. You've got to stroke it.
You do. You absolutely do.
Yeah, it's like a rule. I challenge any man with a beard not to stroke it if he's thinking.
Exactly.
It's like an automatic thing that you guys do.
Yeah.
Every time I see somebody with a beard, you think about it and you're grabbing your beard. Gotta play with
Is
it.
that international as well, Brit? So is that like, American, UK, Russia, everybody?
Oh,
with a
yeah.
beard?
Beard is the international language of love.
I gotta remember that one from one of my friends. He'd love that one.
Am I wrong in saying that Brit is the first American to appear on the podcast?
She is 7 episodes.
Yeah, so
in.
woo!
Yeah.
America!
America! Yeah.
America!
Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to make you feel at home here.
We have a few American writers on the website, but I think this is the first time that we've been able to get one actually in to do the podcast with us, which is
So it's
fantastic.
Stupid o'clock in the morning over there, isn't it, Brit?
Oh, it's only 9 a.m. here right now.
That's dedication for you right there.
It
A Sunday morning and she's up and about.
Yeah, I had to
Absolutely.
reply to your post yelling at me to wake up. Yeah.
So, we were talking a little bit before the podcast, and we were mentioning a game on which there's a poster behind Brittany for the viewers, Call of Duty Ghosts.
Good link. Like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right there.
Just pull that curtain back there, Mike. Reveal the workings behind the scenes.
Whoa, what happened to my lighting?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
you just went angelic all of a sudden.
I did. Wow.
So, and Brittany, you were talking about the facial recognition technology.
Yeah, you did point out that they made a big deal about this facial recognition technology with this game where, oh, look at how great this facial recognition is, and then we all wear masks.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, but they've
this-
got an awesome dog, so I mean, that's fine.
Sorry,
right, yeah, we got dogs.
Gearsden, 5
Oh.
minutes.
Nice.
That's a 5-minute warning for everyone listening.
We need it. We need a jingle, don't we?
Yeah.
Downtown to Gearsden.
Well, you could record that with your band.
Right, I
Yeah.
will. I will
Countdown
do
to
that.
Gearsden. Yeah.
All right.
And you could.
That means
you-
he's always got to be late, though.
It's got to have like a countdown. It's like 1, he's coming up the street. 2, he's through the door. 3, he's got his head on. 4.
It's a little bit like Shaft.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
I went to see the Wolverine with Gearsden yesterday actually, and I was
So
pleasantly surprised actually. Thought it was pretty good. Definitely a lot better than the last one.
Oh.
Good.
I had to have a 15-minute discussion with someone because they couldn't understand why Wolverine grew his claws back.
Because they're
It wound me up something chronic. Yeah, and they're like, oh, why are they bones? And I'm like, because he was born with claws. No, because they gave him claws. No, they didn't give him claws. He was born with the claws. Yeah, but how did he heal them? Because he's got a healing factor. Yeah, but they gave him the claws. He didn't give them the claws. He was born with the claws. And this went on for 15 minutes until I was screaming in their face. And then like, but why didn't it come back with adamantium on it? Like, because they put the adamantium on it! Stressful, to say the least.
Yeah.
Kind of wish I would have been there for that one.
It was good, and I'm not sure if it's sort of like, I wouldn't say it's the best X-Men film seeing, but it was definitely pretty good, and I like the bit halfway through the credits, which obviously we will not talk about because probably people haven't seen it yet. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
haven't
seen it
seen it
yet
yet.
either.
yeah, so that was good, and that sort of made me look forward to the next films coming out and stuff. So that was good.
Indeed.
Excellent. I mean, I'm gonna go on a slight binge this week. I'm gonna go watch Pacific Rim and then The World's End.
I wanted to go and see
The
Pacific Rim
World's End
yesterday,
is
but I was
amazing.
in trouble with my girlfriend and couldn't go. Something about putting a picture of her with her arse out on Facebook didn't really go down too well. So.
I can imagine.
Well, games. As Gearsden would say, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So are you still planning on seeing it?
What, Pacific Rim?
Oh.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely want to see it because I was a massive fan of sort of like robot jocks. I loved that when I was younger, and I quite like the sort of kind of old what do they call those movies when you got kaiju movies and stuff. And obviously Power Rangers. I was a big Power Rangers thing as a kid and stuff. So big robots fighting big monsters, and what's not to like basically.
How about
Go
yourself,
ahead.
Brit?
To me, the movie looks amazing, and I can't wait to go and see it. The problem that I'm having, though, is the game. If you've seen any of the trailers for the game, it looks so tacked on, like it was just thrown together for this release of this movie.
But that's just
And-
that's just most movie games, though. I don't think you get many games that come out after a movie that are generally that good, do you?
This was last week's discussion.
No,
Yeah,
'cause
we
were-
did.
no-
Well, we did video games to movies last week, but
Yeah, we did.
yeah, I did watch that. Yes. But yeah, the movie looks outstanding. I cannot wait to go and actually see it. I've been a fan forever of robots and all that other stuff, so I have to see it. I can't pass it up.
How do you think they would
So-
make a good video? Because have you played the video game, Brit?
I haven't yet. I've only seen trailers for it.
See, 'cause I haven't, but I've heard it's got panned, obviously, for being a bit whack. But I was thinking if it went along the lines of like a bit of an old school Rampage game, and there used to be a game, I'm not sure if it was for the GameCube or the Saturn or something, and basically you had a big sort of open space and you could be a monster and you could just trash the city. Hey, Gearsden's here!
Hey!
Countdown to Gearsden!
Countdown to Gearsden!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Gearsden!
Oh no, I should have put my little effects on. We could have had a round of applause for him and everything.
Aw.
Oh, where's my button?
Too late now. There he
What they-
is.
what they should-
Hey.
Hello. You sexy beast.
I think he's getting the,
Missing a few things there, buddy.
What they,
And we're
they
all
sh-
inside.
for a Pacific Rim game, has anyone played Front Mission Evolved?
No.
No.
It was a game that came out on the 360, and it was a fully customizable mech game, and it's absolutely amazing. I can't stress enough; it's incredible.
What
And if they
platform was
did
it on?
that, it was on Xbox 360. I think it was on. Are you being attacked by aliens
I
from
think that's
War of the
Gearsden.
Worlds?
It's.
I think he's just pissing around with his microphone. He's got that
Okay.
cheesy. He's got that picture of him looking like a cheesy.
Yeah. Either he's being astonishingly still, or
Take an awesome picture there.
Sit there and abuse him.
I don't
That's
know
what we
if
can do for the next 40 minutes.
So you're saying, Mike, that would be the good way to make a
Oh
Pacific Rim
yeah,
style game?
it would be fantastic. I mean, if well, I've only seen the posters and the trailers for Pacific Rim, and the way that the mechs are sort of customized and from what I'd seen, looks very much like Front Mission Evolved. Now, the Front Mission Evolved series was kind of like an RPG before it came to the Xbox 360. This was the first one where it was really sort of customizable, and I guarantee, like, all of you should go out and get it. It costs about a tenner now.
Is it still on Xbox Live?
I don't know if it'll be on Xbox Live, but it's on 360. Just pick it up. Go to like CEX.
Right, okay.
He said, looking for sponsorship. And
For
and pick it
American
up there.
viewers, GameStop.
I like GameStop because they're the only people that will supply me with the Arkham Origins Collector's Edition.
Right, yeah. Hey, whoa, Mike, whoa, there.
Whoa. Yeah, but I'd love a good sort of kind of like Rampage-esque game. Like, there used to be one on... It was the PlayStation 2, possibly, and you could be like a robot monkey or a bit... No, you could be a robot or you could be a monkey. It was kind of like Rampage. You could be a big robot, or you could be a monkey, or you could be a big lizard man, and you could go around and you could tear up the city. And I like games like that, but they don't seem to do many these days anymore.
They did a
Maybe
Godzilla one.
Yeah.
Say it again?
Maybe they should just be really realistic and have it as like a real-time strategy where you're just trying to manage a bunch of people, and then every now and then a robot fights.
Well, did they not have that in the new? Did they not have that in the SimCity games, where you have basically like a UFO or something comes down and tries to destroy your city?
Yeah, it's a very rare happening. Yeah, where you look after you build and look after an entire city, set up all its like sewage and its phone
Nice.
lines and power lines and things like that, and then there's a small chance that an earthquake or a fire or a riot or a Godzilla or something will destroy it.
Godzilla.
It's kind of like
Can anyone hear me?
yeah,
Hello,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Ah, we can hear you.
Right, my video's not working for some reason. I don't know what the crack is.
You've got a stupid face going on right now, so that's all right.
Just keep it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just maintain that.
Maintain the stupid face.
I'm not stupid.
I'm not saying you're stupid, just have a stupid face.
Yeah.
Oh, this blows.
It blows.
Right, there we go. Right, am I alright? No, it's not working.
Nope.
My video's not working. I don't know why.
Oh, poor Geek. That's what
Horrible
you get for being,
Geek.
That's what you get for being late.
It is, yeah.
I've been at the airport.
Yes.
No.
But you've got your own theme tune now, so that's
Yeah,
that's something to
Yeah.
Countdown to Gearsden. Countdown
Yeah.
to Gearsden.
Yeah.
It's in the works, and we'll be able to have it as like an official single for Geek Pride or something available.
Well, that's alright.
It's going to be about a minute long, and I may record it entirely a cappella.
That would be. We should so contribute to that. Everyone just kind of does a set of notes, and we all add up to like a 7-piece, massive Bon Jovi-esque piece
Yes.
of music.
Yeah, definitely. Most
That'd be
definitely.
a classic.
I've got some free time tomorrow. I may genuinely do this.
Yeah, sounds good.
Excellent.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that work. Yeah.
You know, another film actually I saw yesterday, because I was on a bit of a film mission yesterday. I saw Django Unchained, which I haven't seen before, and that was fucking awesome.
It is pretty good film, isn't it?
Yeah, it's long. It's like 3 hours long, but yeah, that was good, man. I really enjoyed that. It's sort of, you know, I've seen every Tarantino film that's out, and it was the only one I hadn't seen. And so I gave it a whirl yesterday, and fucking hell, the blood in that, it's mad. He's just like, he shoots the horse at the start, and it just goes, it fucking goes mad. What's Gearsden doing, by the way? Sorry.
I don't know. He
I'm not-
just
I'm not doing anything.
You just opened capture.
All right, shit. Hang on.
Are you trying to capture us?
I'm not trying to.
You must be run.
He's deploying the Gearsden bots.
Dude,
Right.
dude, go to the settings in the top right. There should be a settings button. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Check
can
that
see it.
Right, press that and then check out. You see if you're see if there's a camera.
Right,
being
that's my
detected.
HP. That's my.
It's done. They've destroyed the illusion now.
We've
The magic of the podcast is gone.
We already had Mike pulling
Oh.
back the curtain and then just destroy it entirely by trying to give Gearsden some tech support over Google Plus.
Have you
Hang on.
turned it off? Have you turned
Yeah.
it off and on again?
Oh, that's what I
Yeah.
wanted to hear.
Absolutely. So that's what we should have said when you had a problem. Hello through to IT if you tried turning it back off and on again.
Thing is, though, it works. I don't. That's.
It,
It works.
sometimes it does.
How do I shut that capture thing off?
You've
You've
shut it
turned
off
it
now.
It's too late, man. Game over.
Just join the conversation, Gearsden.
Alright.
Just
Just,
get
just
involved.
talk.
Alright, I'm getting involved.
Get
Oh,
involved.
he sounds so
Oh.
crushed.
Oh.
I'm not live via video link, am I? I'm live via microphone.
You're live
Can we
by
can we put like in post? Can we put on the sad Hulk music over the top?
Exactly, yeah. Or a really kind of small violin piece.
Yeah.
World's smallest violin.
Right. I was just about to. Yeah. Gary and I are on the same page here.
Speaking of films, has anyone seen The World's End yet?
No.
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 Right. Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna not
Epic
talk
fail.
about it because it's amazing, but I really want to discuss plot and symbolism and loads of geeky media stuff with you all. So I'm putting a leaf in this book, and please invite me back next week so we can talk about it.
I was gonna say there's a bit in it from the clip I've seen, and he jumps over the fence and he falls over. Isn't that in Spaced? That happens in Spaced.
That's in it's a running gag from all three
Yeah.
of the films because this is the final of the is it called the Cornetto trilogy?
Is
that
it
the
called
official-
Ice Cream and Blood or something like that?
Possibly, yeah. There's an amazing Cornetto gag. You don't think it's going to happen, and then it happens, and I won't spoil it, but you need to go and watch it. It's incredibly clever, incredibly funny. I didn't think anything was going to be better than Shaun of the Dead, but it's all the sort of funny and action of Shaun of the Dead, and all the sort of cleverness that was in Hot Fuzz, and it's a perfect end to the trilogy, and you just need to go and see it.
Hot
Ran-
Fuzz, I wasn't that fussed about, to be honest. It was alright, but it didn't really. I love Shaun of the Dead, but Hot Fuzz.
You will love World's End.
If you want to watch a film that is about as funny as Shaun of the Dead and also includes zombies, watch Cockneys versus Zombies.
It's so good.
It's so you just don't expect a film of that quality from that title. It was so funny. Me and Alex, when we watched it, I haven't laughed at a film that hard in quite some time. It's just brilliant film. So listeners, if you haven't seen it, it's available. You can get it streaming on Love Film, probably on Netflix. Cockneys versus Zombies. It is much better than you'd think.
And if any three of those want to sponsor us, we are open.
Yes, yeah, any of you?
Drop us a message on www.geek-pride.co.uk.
That's geek-pride.co.uk.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Wow, shameless plugs.
Shameless, that's the title of this week's podcast.
Shameless plugs.
Shameless
Shameless
plugs.
plug.
That is very good. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, Gearsden, you sound absolutely got it.
Yeah,
Mate.
can I can't. I want my camera on, and it's not coming on.
How about you leave and I'll re-invite you?
Right.
Do that.
I'll do that. Let's see what happens. All right.
Let's go. We're
See you in a minute, kids.
He's going home.
Your son has left the building.
So now we've
I
got
like it.
another countdown to Gearsden.
He only does this because he wants fame and fortune, and he's
That's all it is.
He naively thinks he'll get it from Geek Pride.
Right.
That is, unless somebody will sponsor us and help us to...
Yeah. We want to be the British Rooster Teeth. Come on. Sponsor
Oh,
us.
that's aiming too low. I want to be the British IO9.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Nice.
Alright, it won't let me add people for some reason. Ah, there it
I'd
is.
just like to get paid to do Let's Plays with you guys. I think it would be amazing.
That could be pretty funny. It's saying there's quite a lot of people now are earning massive amounts of money off YouTube. That there are comics and so on. People I've never heard of who get, if you get 800,000 views, which is obviously a metric ton, but it's also not impossible. You earn something like £25,000 for it.
Yeah.
What?
There's a guy who's from my town, my new adopted town, Denton, where I live now, and he's called Syndicate, and he puts on Call of Duty and Minecraft videos on YouTube, and he's one of the main.
Is that his
partners.
YouTube name?
He's called Syndicate.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of his Call of Duty ones.
Yeah, and he makes that's his job. That's all he does. He makes an absolute fuck ton of money just by playing games.
It's amazing.
It is. Literally.
It's the dream, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, man. But it's like I talked to Sneaky Zebra, who do the videos, the cosplay videos, who were at SDCC, are in America at the minute. They need what was Nick sending me. They need I think it's like 8 million views or 1 million views or something. 1 million views, yeah, on YouTube, and then they can make their money back for the travel and everything they've done to America. So they must get a fair,
That's
obviously
amazing.
not enough to live on, but a fair bit just by getting a lot of views, and it is a big thing for them. So
That's where the money is. If you can make YouTube video that people are willing to watch, and there's the example I heard of was a guy made. There's Gearsden.
he works. Oh no,
There's
he's stuck
a
again.
Oh no, he's stuck.
You douchebag. It's
Oh,
gone.
that's brilliant.
So
Oh,
close.
you've got him half waving his hand as well.
I know, he's also
Oh.
oh.
It's like he's
Yeah.
trapped in carbonite.
It is.
Right.
Oh, this is absolute balls, this.
Told you, man.
If you
Honestly-
could trap someone in carbonite and they could talk, I think I'd have Gearsden as a coffee table.
Yeah, you'd be an awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Maybe
Hang on
we
a
could
minute.
have
Hang on a minute. What are you saying?
We could put
I'm
it
saying you're funny, and it would be good to have you trapped in carbonite. I could put coffee on you, be like, "Well, watch where you're spilling that, pal," and
Yeah,
it'd be
but
amazing.
Yeah, like a little button and stuff, turn them off.
I could see the benefits of that, but I mean, how would I go on? I mean, what do you want to play me for? Like, which I've been doing at the moment.
I'll free up your hands and eyes. How's that?
That's all right then.
So
We're
how
going into it.
are you going to play it if you've got no hands, Gearsden? It's in carbonite.
Well, obviously, if it's in carbonite, we'll be in the future and shit. And I'll just do it like all Jedi-like and stuff, won't I?
with your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jedi mind tricks there.
yeah. Hey, kids. Has anyone spoke about Wolverine yet?
Yeah.
We briefly talked about it. What did you think?
I thought it was fucking mega. I loved it. It was better than the first one, and it led on to the next trilogy, and it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
We can't talk about it too much because people haven't seen it yet, so
Right.
can't go into too much detail. But
Right.
enjoyed it then. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like the snake lady though.
Viper.
Why? What's wrong with her?
Well, I don't like snakes in general.
Oh.
Aww.
Snakes are
No,
cool.
no, they're not cool, mate. I mean, they move. Check, like, listen. Like, just listen to this, right? This
Yeah.
makes sense. Anything that doesn't have arms or legs and can move faster than me, it isn't right.
I think you've been misinformed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Snakes can't move faster than you except over maybe half a meter. If you start running, the snake can't catch you.
Well, what about on them nature programs where they go mental?
What's
Dude,
in
I've got a snake, and they're lovely.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
awesome.
no. Yeah, but like, what happens if, like, say you was asleep at night and it got out?
Then
Then I just find him wrapped around a pipe, because all they're gonna do is find somewhere warm.
What's
Like,
the-
Right,
unless you
mine
get
is.
like the big old fuckers that are like 15 foot long, then they're fine. They're never gonna like try and eat you, because they won't try and eat things that are bigger than them.
they're
and if you
saying that-
keep them fed, then they won't try and eat anything.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Has your snake ever bit you?
my
No,
expert-
never. He nearly went for me once. He was halfway through a shed, and he his skin, not like he wasn't like building. He was,
It was a key point of the project, and he just didn't want to be interrupted.
You've completely ruined these dovetail joints. Sorry. I was just trying to feed you a mouth.
What's your snake called? Because I want to imagine this snake carpenter.
This will get geek points. He's called Vega because
Oh.
he's got a V on his head, and I was obsessed with Vega from Street Fighter 2. For those of you that haven't played the game, if you haven't, stop now, go and play it. Come back. That was awesome. Vega's one of my favourite characters. I still can't do his final move because it's all kinds of ridiculous, but he's my favourite character, and I love that whole like handsome fighters never lose battles, and he was obsessed with his own beauty. And
is that the one where he
snake
climbs up the fence and then he does a big fucking jump thing?
I can do that one, but it's like this weird. It's changed over the years, but it's like this weird kind of he twirls through the air and then like, he just does a metric fuckload of damage, and
okay.
but it's ridiculous. If anyone can do it, write in, because I will give you one internet.
Yeah, right.
You will get
One whole internet.
You will get an internet. And
So
you can put
Vega-
it on your wall.
So Vega the carpentry snake
Yeah.
bit you mid-shed. I've heard
No,
that
he
that's
didn't-
when they're the most
because
fussy.
because what
They-
because what happens is when they're going through shed, the first thing that goes is their eyes. Their eyes will take a blue tint, because and they're pretty blind anyway. They sort of see in infrared, but when they're like
Predator.
yeah, like Predator, and and yeah, so when they're going through the shed, they cover their eyes, and so they're vulnerable. And he was cold as well. This is a couple of years ago, and he was really little, and he sort of went for me, and then kind of I don't know whether snakes do realise what they're doing, but it seemed to me like he realised what he was doing, and he stopped, and I sort of just left him alone for a week, and sort of let him get on with it and shed and get sorted out, and then I fed him, and everything was cool. Snakes
Don't
are
frighten me,
awesome.
that.
I had
No, dude, snakes are awesome.
I had an ex-girlfriend who collected snakes, and she was telling me that obviously once she had big, massive, sort of kind of like bigger than man-sized pythons and stuff, and they were forever escaping because they're quite muscular and they can just push their things up and get out. Their tanks out. And apparently they sort of one day she woke up and it was like lying straight, basically beside her in bed. And they went to the vet, and they were like, what's it doing? And he's like, it's sizing you up, basically.
Yeah.
Are you feeding it? Are you feeding it enough? Because basically it's wondering if it can eat you or not.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
that.
the bigger snakes will do that. But you know, your little ones, like he's a corn snake. He's just
That's just a little bit.
Yeah, the biggest he's going to get to is about 5 foot maximum, and he's just adorable. I go into my room and I'm like, "Hey, buddy," and he pokes his head out and he's like, "What's up?" He's awesome.
You have a talking carpentry snake?
A talking
Yes.
carpentry snake.
Yes.
My
Yeah.
God.
If we hadn't already named the podcast, we would have just named the podcast.
Right.
So the key thing, though, Gearsden, is that
Yo.
a snake that's big enough to size you up isn't big enough to chase after you. It can't move that fast. It just can't. It's only the smaller ones that are able to do like the really flash movements and kind of snap onto things.
I think sidewinders, or I think those desert snakes are quite fast.
They're
but,
pretty
Yes.
pretty quick, but they're not like
Well,
light.
They're not super fast, and if you live where I live, you're not allowed to have snakes anyways, so you're covered.
oh,
We
are
have
you?
no snakes here.
Oh, are you?
You're like Ireland then, no snakes. Did St. Patrick
Yeah.
go over the Hawaii afterwards and get all the snakes out of your island?
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah, they're considered-
I'm going to Hawaii.
That's apparently what he did over here. He came
Yeah.
over there and just got rid of snakes. And then
It's
he
one of the
obviously got to
weirdest, one of the weirdest patron saint things to have done.
I'm working.
Right here!
Hawaii.
Hey!
Hey!
Right, kids.
I look at him resting at an easy angle as
Check
well.
it out. I've got
Right,
my
he was
Crew
all
Bad Boys
comfortable.
t-shirt on.
Backwards,
Gearsden, I
sort
put
of.
on my special pajama bottoms just for you.
Oh, cheers, pal. What have you got?
Batman.
Oh, good stuff.
Nice.
I have my Hulk ones. I'll try and put those on next time.
I'll wear Halo next time.
I
I've
do
not got my
promise you
kiss
next time I do it in a Batman onesie, but it's far too hot. So,
Right.
No.
It's too hot for the Black Kitty onesie.
That's not the kind of attitude Batman would approve
I
of.
should have worn my Superman onesie. My mum bought me. My
You
mum-
definitely
God, we're
should.
grown adults and we're all wearing onesies.
Right, hang on.
my last birthday, my mum bought. No, this birthday just went. My mum bought me 2 Lego Star Wars sticker books and a Star Wars onesie. Not Star Wars. Superman
That's awesome.
Onesie. Yeah.
Right, well, I'm not
I'm
one
jealous.
to decline a challenge, so bear with me.
Oh, Mike's off. Mike's off.
He is, he's off.
Oh.
Before we got on to snakes and so on, so Gearsden, Wolverine, it's a must-watch from you then, is it?
Yeah. I mean, if you like your X-Men and you were little bit disappointed with the last Wolverine film, we wanted a bit more. It's for you, and it's going to lead on to the next set of stories as well. So.
Right. Here's a question from me: which was worse, the last Wolverine film or X-Men: The Last Stand?
Oh.
Oh, look at Mike!
Oh, no way.
Oh,
Oh,
brilliant!
awesome.
Oh man, I feel like I need to wear my. Where's my Superman one? Where is it?
Well, actually, that would work very well because there was a big film announcement since the last time we did do a podcast together.
All right, okay, I'll come back. 1 minute.
Batman and Superman.
1 minute. I'll come back. 1 minute.
So we're losing Geary.
You're
Yeah,
about
whilst-
to lose me to Halo, so.
Oh, really? Oh no. Whilst he's
I'll
going
wait
to
till Geek
change,
comes back.
it's a shame he's doing it off camera because that could really
Right?
boost our ratings.
It really could.
So which one was worse then? The last Wolverine, so just Wolverine, I guess, whatever it was called, or X-Men: The Last Stand?
It's an odd one that because saying that I don't know. It's probably the last Wolverine movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, I kind of enjoyed it. Deadpool wasn't done correctly.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's a question of who they fucked about with more, Jean Grey or Deadpool.
And they fucked about it with
Right.
Deadpool.
Yeah, I think it would be more Deadpool.
And Gambit could have been cooler.
Yeah, he could have.
So
Instead of all like, I love you, Wolverine.
Oh.
I wish you had your memory back. I
Yeah.
love you. And you're like, what?
let's get in the
Yeah.
plane and I'll drop you off a plane.
Yeah,
Yeah, brilliant. Gambit's cooler than that. He's an X-Men. God.
exactly.
Anyway, well, I don't know if anyone's seen the Lego Marvel stuff yet, the new trailers.
Hello. Nice.
We have them there on the
Love it.
podcast. World's greatest detectives side by side.
Yeah, check this shit out.
Clark.
Yeah. I'm
Oh, I didn't give you a tour of it. Hang on.
I didn't give us a-
Excuse me.
Where is my microphone anyways? There it is. There we go.
Has it got a cape? Have
I'll
they
do
got
the
a
same.
cape?
Did you have
No,
a
it
cape?
doesn't. It's really gutting.
What was the name of the
Oh.
last Superman? Not Henry Cavill. What's the old fella called? Last one. Not Henry Cavill.
Christopher Reeve.
No. One
Right. No, that's the
one-
original.
No.
No,
the guy,
no one cared about Superman Returns.
Yeah. What was
Right?
That guy called? What was that guy called?
I don't know. No one cares.
He was called. We
Yeah,
erased
nobody
him from
cared.
history.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
well,
we totally
I'm
don't.
his version because I've stuffed. So
You're stuffed.
Wow.
I've
You-
stuffed.
No, you're not, Matthew.
I haven't. This is all me. So.
Yeah.
100% Mike. So, seeing as we do have you both in costume, what do we think about the announcement that, for those who might have missed it, and if you have, well done, that the next Man of Steel film will feature Batman as either a co-star or potentially an enemy for Superman?
Right.
How would it work?
There's
as an
no
enemy,
way.
He would work as an enemy, right? If they did it as young, like a youngish Batman, but with all the sensibilities of Dark Knight Returns. Just this ultimate badass who just knows all of Superman's weaknesses, and it would work. Like, can you imagine the scene from Dark Knight Strikes Again, when if you haven't seen it or read it, sorry, apologies, but where Superman goes smashing into the Batcave, and he's like, "Where are you, Bruce?" And then Bruce is like coming over a tannoy, and he's just like, I've been planning this for years. You know, I've been watching you. I know all your weaknesses." And then Batman proceeds to beat the living hell out of Superman.
Kiri.
And
Is that where the quote comes from that they did on the?
No, the quote comes from the Return of the Dark Knight, is it? Or...
Dark Knight Returns, yeah.
Dark Knight Returns, yeah.
Dark Knight Strikes Back is the sequel to Dark Knight Returns, but it will never get made into a film because it's mental and it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, he beats the crap out of Superman, and Superman's just like, "I just want to talk," and he lands one last punch. He goes, "I'm done talking. Now get the hell out of my cave." And you're just like, and orgasm.
I'm assuming that page is quite sticky for you then, Mike.
No, I use wet wipes.
Matt, that was quite cool. Revealing underneath one of your Superman costumes, another Superman costume.
This is definitely a more visual episode, isn't it? I think people here on the podcast are going to be going, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Anybody who's listening.
So, Brit, what about yourself? You interested, excited about seeing the two most recognisable, I guess, DC characters together on screen?
World War III broke out in this house when we read about that. When we were talking about it, it was serious. It was like a smackdown. We came to two conclusions. One was they're going to be, like villains. It's not villains, but they're going to be enemies for a little while. But they eventually have to become, they have to be friends. There's no way that it can continue on without them being friends in the end.
Not being obviously up on the comic books and stuff. I don't understand how they can become enemies in the first place. So surely
that's where I'm stuck.
My guess would be, and this is a theory that I had immediately, and which was confirmed by actually it was Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman on the Hollywood Babylon podcast. Would be they've already foreshadowed the existence of Lex Luthor in that world. So what you do is you have Lex Luthor being all completely anti-alien, being like, this man must be taken down, and Bruce Wayne kind of goes to Metropolis in an attempt to potentially join in with that effort, thinking, look, Superman killed about 25,000 people the other year. Maybe we should try and stop that in future. And that's kind of set up in that way that initially Bruce Wayne is with Lex Luthor, thinking that he's of the same mindset of Bruce as trying to save people. And then you kind of set up that.
What about... Because taking from the first film gave Superman a problem that he simply could not deal with without killing lots and lots of people. He was way out of his depth, right? And we all know that Nolan loves doing that. He takes our superheroes and he just puts them in impossible situations. So maybe you have all the stuff that goes on with Lex Luthor, and that's sort of the first problem. And then I know Superman's not working for the government, but this Batman fella turns up. He's breaking a lot of laws. Maybe Superman, that doesn't sit right with Superman, and so then sort of maybe he tries to stop Batman, and then Batman kind of turns his attentions towards Superman, because then you've got two of the greatest geniuses in the world, not working together, but like your enemy of your enemy is my friend kind of thing. And Supes is just like, I don't know where to turn. I don't know what I'm doing, because I've got this guy's building a death ray trying to destroy me, and I've got this guy who knows where I live, and he's been waiting for me. And then when I try to turn around and talk to him, he disappears out the window, and all that kind of stuff.
The only problem with that is that if you're going to have Superman and Batman, I think they both have to appear in the first 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
I think that they do. I think they have to. But with that one that you had Lex Luthor as the first challenge, and that's like the first 30 minutes of the film or something.
No, I mean, yeah, you've got all that going on with Supes at that point, but then you could see all the stuff that Batman's doing. Because Batman's going to have to be established in a big bad way anyway, because they're getting rid of the whole Nolanverse Batman. It's going to be this new Batman who's going to be a whole set of different ideals, and we don't even know who's going to play him yet. So
Sorry, somebody got a TV on in the background or something. There's a lot of reverb or something going on. Nobody hearing that? Is that
No.
just me? Sorry.
I heard it earlier.
I
No,
hear
when
it
I make any noise, it picks up. I know that. My mic is really sensitive.
I hear it when Mike talks.
Yeah.
You got your headphones in?
Yeah, headphones in, mic's on. Mic.
Hey.
It sounds like when you're on the news and there's someone talking from miles away and it's kind of being echoed or whatever.
Yeah, cool. Doesn't matter. It's not bothering.
Okay.
So one thing to mention though is that Chris Nolan is only executive producing the next film, which is the equivalent of saying he'll watch the master cut and give a couple of comments. I don't think he's going to be as heavily involved in this as he has been in previous films.
Okay.
I'm quite bothered about this.
Are you?
Yeah. I mean, you got to look at it this way. Look at all the films that have been something versus something. Aliens versus Predator. Problem. Aliens versus Predator 2, it was pretty bad. I mean, when you get versus things, it only kind of works in the actual comic books.
No.
I think film-wise, it's got the potential to go pretty downhill.
I know, but it's gonna be building up towards Justice League, isn't it? So they kind of have to do it, don't they?
Isn't it by 2020 or something like that? We're supposed to have the Justice League movie.
Well, they've got to do a million films. Well, I'm not even sure who they're going to have is sort of within the Justice League, the main characters. Obviously,
I think I'll make the point that Becca would want us all to make, which was how the fuck does The Flash get a film when Wonder Woman doesn't?
Yup.
Right.
has there been a Flash film, by the way?
Yeah, there's been
Yeah.
at least one Flash film. It was...
Years
oh
ago,
no,
wasn't it?
yeah, it was years ago. It was a Flash film. They also tried, I think, a Flash TV series
It
in
didn't
the
go on so
nine-
well.
I think there was something on Sky
Jeez.
One like years ago.
Yeah,
I'm sure, like it was on around. I think was it on around about the time of Freddy's Nightmares, or
Yeah, it could have
Highlander
been.
series.
yeah. But I don't think the Flash is in any way strong enough to carry an episode of Justice League, let alone an entire film.
Well, according to
Yes, if you-
IMDb, Justice League is coming out in 2017.
Oh, I thought it was 2020.
Oh wow! So they're
Wow.
They're trying to
I'm on
catch up.
the internet now. I swear
got-
there was a Justice League movie that was made but it's never released, I believe. Years and
Yeah.
years and years ago.
I've heard things about that they did a few shoots and then cancelled it rather than doing a full film. I don't know.
As long as
They
they
did-
cast somebody hot as Aquaman, I'm cool.
Is that your thing then, Brit? Is it Aquaman?
I
Apparently,
love Aquaman.
Apparently, Aquaman gets a bit of a bad rap because he's not actually that bad of a superhero.
He isn't.
He gets it all the time, yeah. People always repping on Aquaman. It's ridiculous because he's awesome.
He's my favorite. Like, I know that sounds so weird, but he is my favorite.
Being Hawaiian,
The-
though, is that because you're a child of the ocean and all that?
Actually, I hate the water.
Maybe that's why you just like. I'm glad someone's looking after that fucking thing because I'm going
Exactly,
nowhere
that's
near
what
it.
I am. I'm big on nature and everything, and so when I was introduced to Aquaman, it was obviously through Smallville, and it was the episode where he was, trying to prevent Luthor Corp from blowing up all the marine life in Crater Lake, and that's when I fell in love with Aquaman. I was like, he's my man.
Aquaman is a guy that's so cool. He loses a hand, and instead of goes, I should probably get that magically replaced, he goes, no, fuck it, I'll have a grappling hook. Awesome.
Right.
And all the other Justice League probably took the piss out of him. And he went, I don't care, I've got a sweet ass hook for a hand.
Right. I don't give a fuck. I've got a hook.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly it.
I've got a hook.
Yeah, what happened to you, Brit? What happened to your hand?
I fell, and then somebody fell on top of me, and
Oh, dear.
Well,
it broke my arm up to my elbow.
Bad shenanigans.
Yeah, shenanigans.
Was you a rock and roll concert?
That would be a better story, but no.
Oh,
Drunk in
I
the
don't think it would be. I don't think it would be a better story. Depends on
Yeah.
depends on the full story. We obviously can't talk about it here.
Right. I'm trying to keep it at least PG-13 R-rated here. That would go into the X-rated version.
Oh, so it's actually X-rated, is it? So
It's X-rated.
He's not helping. He's not helping you to. He's not helping you to make the bed or something. You guys.
Oh no.
There was, as the English would say, rumpy pumpy going on.
A bit of the old out and out.
Does anyone have any geeky sex stories?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Can you define a geeky?
Right.
Well,
let's-
either you did something geeky pre or post sex, or you were, I don't know, in cosplay. I don't know. It's just an idea that occurred to me.
I called him Superman once.
Nice.
Was that a proper Superman, or were you just going, that's Superman?
No, I said, "Oh, Superman."
Nice, very nice.
I keep working up the bottle to when I change positions, yell Autobots transform. But I'm sort of, my mind is sort of on the task at hand, or foot, or wherever. So I sort of forget about that.
The task at hand.
The concentration.
Right.
That's almost one of
New
those
section.
times where we're
New
like,
section. Geeky things to say at the moment of climax.
I've been ruined for this. I once
Have you
ran
now?
a exalted roleplay session for a group of friends, and one of my friends argued that because he had epic level constitution, he should be able to climax on command. Because he had so much control over his body that he should be able to. And so what he did was he kept succeeding at the roll, and he would orgasm, and when he ejaculated, he would shout, "Exalted!" And that is now the thing that I imagine everyone can, should, and will shout at the moment of climax.
I always think Hadouken's a pretty good one. Hadouken!
He's talking about Hadouken's. Have you seen that sort of kind of like that video that's going around YouTube with all the Baptist church people sort of kind of doing the Hadoukens
Yeah.
and knocking people over and stuff? That's hilarious, man.
Someone's
Absolutely.
put the Street Fighter soundtrack and sound effects
Yes.
to a Baptist church meeting.
Well,
"Oh
Guile,
yeah, I saw that."
as we all know, Guile's theme goes with everything.
Yep, certainly does.
What about yourself, Matt? What do you think people should be, geeks across the world should be shouting as they climax?
Oh God, you put me on the spot now. I'm gonna think of something.
That would be a really awful shout. You've put me on the spot now, I've got to think.
Oh, look, he made me do now. I've gone down. Yeah, you're gonna have to come back to me. I had one, but I've lost it now. Go to Gearsden. Gearsden will have a lot.
Hey?
He's sitting there all thoughtfully.
He is, yeah, he's thinking
mean-
about it.
I mean,
He's
everyone's got their own
stroking
thing, haven't they? You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. It's difficult. I don't know. I think I'd feel a bit weird.
Your missus will always give you a big slap as well.
I'm normally hoarse from all the begging, so I don't really have much voice left at the end.
Is that begging to start or begging to stop?
To start.
Do you have a horrible safe word?
What?
See, that's
what's
why you have a broken arm, Brittany. That's why you've got a broken arm. Safe
Because
words.
chemists pick the worst safe words I know.
Like
We pick
what?
these long safe words, and it's horrible.
Paracetamol, fruity, benzoyl,
Yes, that was good.
I just go for red, amber, green because it's quite simple.
That's fair. I forgot what ours is. That's a bad sign, isn't it? Really.
I'm sorry, you actually have a safe word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have a
You've
safe
gotta
word.
have a
if you're
safe
out
word.
there.
Safe word.
I think we've just learned something about Matt there.
I don't have a safe word.
Neither do I.
This is the
feel-
guy who abandons his girlfriend at pubs and takes pictures of her
Oh,
arms and puts it
the
on Facebook.
picture.
I feel unsafe.
The picture.
I
Do
feel
you
like
not
something
get
might
a safe word? Is that have you been so bad that you've had your safe word removed?
I don't think we've ever had a safe word. That's because I'm so awesome and it would never, ever get to that point.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
Oh,
you're
yeah.
awesome, it just means you're not very experimentative.
Right?
Exactly.
You're not doing it right, Gary.
Oklahoma.
If your safe word isn't uttered at least twice a year, you're not doing it right.
I'll have to bring that to my missus. Lauren, we're having a safe word in sex apparently.
Let's quickly choose Matt's safe word.
Hadouken.
Hadouken.
Lychee.
Oh, she's talking to me now. Yeah, apparently we've got to have a safe word when we have sex. Apparently.
Just if you scream Geek Pride, I mean that'll.
Geek Pride.
Yeah.
Or maybe go Mortal Kombat. You got to do like
Oh, that could be the-
friendship.
I'm priding.
Get over here.
Your soul is mine.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie. Perfect. That is what people should
In
shout.
that tone.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
I always thought it was toasty.
I
No,
think
I
there
think
were
it's
a few.
toasty, isn't it?
Is it toasty?
I'm sure it's toasty.
Toasty. Toasty.
Right, we'll yell toasty then. Which is applicable to the heat, so that's good.
Absolutely. If you leave
Oh,
any
sorry,
bit
my
of
TARDIS
happen
is
at
in
the
there.
moment.
Your TARDIS is going off.
Yeah, my phone makes TARDIS noises. And so, like, all the Whovians around everywhere, like, prairie dog, hardcore when my phone goes off.
That's mean.
I know, right?
I
I
used to have the Pokemon Evolution jingle, the kind of da 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 da. That was mine for quite some time.
My answer machine message used to be the Jay and Silent Bob from Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. The all you motherfuckers are going to pay thing.
Nice.
You are the ones who are the ball lickers.
Yeah. Let's just say I had quite a lot of angry people, especially my mother, going, Matthew, what is that horrible answer machine message? Why don't you get it changed? My mum's from Oxford. She's very posh and doesn't like such things.
You said posh. Hey, you said posh.
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 Yeah,
Posh.
Posh.
Posh love.
Sorry, posh.
Very posh.
Posh. Yeah.
I am such a minority right now.
You are totally a minority.
You are. What you should hopefully have learned from this podcast is that all Brits don't talk like the toffee-nosed. Either
All
yet.
right, governor, shine your shoes for ya. Sweet chimney, up the apples and pears. Let's kill some zombies.
Alternatively, talk very, very poshly instead.
Yeah,
More like
it's-
Stewie Griffin.
It seems like
Yeah.
in America the British accent tends to be
Right.
Cockney or uber posh.
Yeah.
Well,
So
they're going to be meeting me in a month's time, aren't they?
No.
A couple of you live in Manchester, so you'll realise how stupid it is that in Frasier, Daphne's brother said he came from Manchester,
Oh, wow.
but sounded like he came from inner London. It was insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
That-
So
yeah.
stupid.
You know
Oh.
why I order.
Aye.
You're Yank.
But yeah, so I think that's just us getting that off our chests.
Saying that though, an American accent. There's quite a lot of when somebody says do an American accent, you tend to sort of kind of do the same sort of. Hi, I'm American. I talk like this. I'm American.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, last time I
We
was
have
knocking
so
about.
many.
Last time I was knocking about there, I can do a good accent. Well,
man.
there's.
Go on.
Is that a wiener dog? Is it? Oh, is that short? Party wiener. Go down the mall.
Nice. It's
Oh,
good
dear.
because it's not the typical one. You didn't go deep south or New York
Right.
or anything like that. You went straight into a believable kind of.
Yeah. You could go Keanu with it. Like, what? Let's go to the mall or whatever. Like, I surf and we can't go faster than 50 miles an hour because the bus will explode.
Like, totally, and for sure.
I'm like a Ronin, and I have a samurai sword.
my mate Tony Wong's in that film.
Oh, is he the tattooed guy?
No, no, he's there's a guy in it. One of my Chinese friends, Tony Wong, who everybody should know because everybody knows who Tony Wong is.
I know
Yeah.
who Tony Wong is.
Everybody knows who Tony Wong is. And if you don't, get to know him because he's an awesome guy. But he's in it. He went down. He was in an extra. He's apparently one of the foot soldiers walking around, and he's got a lot of camera time apparently. So
Awesome.
Tony Wong.
Good for him.
Talking about extras and stuff, I'm going to Dubrovnik in a month, and apparently they're starting the filming for Series 3 in Dubrovnik when I'm there.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
I went to Dubrovnik last September and I went along the castle walls and things, and I've got some of the shots that are quite like the ones they took in Game of Thrones. It is a beautiful, beautiful castle.
Yeah, man, it looks awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to bring my camera, and it's going to be good times.
How long are you going for?
Only 5 days, sadly.
Yeah, that's right. That it's such a weird tourist trap that once you've seen the castle, that's kind of the highlight of the town.
Okay.
Sounds like
It really is.
Hawaii.
We're going for my mate's birthday, so
Ah.
I want to see sort of. Apparently, there's a sort of a military museum on top of a big hill somewhere, which
Yeah.
is a cable. There's a cable car or something that takes you up there, and obviously the fort, which I want to see, and there's some gardens and things.
Just outside the city, there is the hotel at which one of the invading forces, because they were actually invaded in the last 15, 20 years
Serbia.
by Serbia, yeah. And there's a hotel that still hasn't been renovated because nobody wants to go there because it was used as, I think, one of Serbia's base, and then it was invaded, and it was shot up to hell, and it's just outside the town. You can see it from like the castle, but most of the windows are shut out and things like that. It's a really, really strange thing to have this desiccated sign of war literally a mile away from the city proper.
Alright, that'll be good. I'll have to go
Yeah,
follow
it's
that
really
then.
weird.
That actually interests me. That's like reason number 5 for me to get a passport.
See, there's a stat apparently, Brit, and I'm not sure if this is true or not. That isn't it like 50-60% of Americans don't have passports, or I mean, it might even be higher than that. You know,
It's probably true.
Your country's pretty
Yeah.
big, so I mean, you know,
Well, I
there's a
suppose-
lot of your own place to explore before you. Well, I'm not saying you have to.
Yeah.
Explore your own country.
I
then you
don't.
can come out.
Well, I suppose
I don't explore.
I suppose like with us, if you want to, you go traveling in your own country. Oh, let's go for a holiday in Abersoft, or let's go to, let's go to
Sunny
Torquay or something.
Aldridge.
Yeah, it's not
Let's
the
go
same as
caravanning in Devon.
let's go to Alaska or let's go to Hawaii or something like that.
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
it's just
Yeah.
a bit more sort of kind of awe-inspiring than Torquay.
Go to the British Riviera.
Up until 9/11, we actually were able to cross the borders into Mexico and Canada, down into the Bahamas, stuff like that, with just our government ID. And then after that happened, we needed a passport to go anywhere outside of the United States.
Right,
Oh,
in case
so that
just in case
kinda-
the Canadians invade.
I learned
Right, just in case they invade us.
Again, because they did invade once.
What the
Do you
Canadians?
mind if we take this
Yeah.
stretch of
They did.
country? No,
Yeah,
oh, okay, we're gonna
The
take it.
Canadians
He
invaded
wants to
once.
invade
Yeah.
America.
Whoa, right. It was just during the war. Right, there's basically War of Independence, where the Americans went north and couldn't take Canada, so came back. I don't think they invaded them. 1812, they invaded Canada, and then the British invaded America and burnt the White House. Is this after it, Sean?
I am googling it.
Yeah, I'm
right
an
now.
American and I don't even know this.
Fun fact.
I only know
about
the
9/11.
story.
Fun fact about 9/11. Not there was a lot of
You
fun
can
facts.
never
but-
say that thing again.
Yes, you can. But once you've heard what I'm going to say, Michael Jackson was in town on the day.
Oh my God! Conspiracy theory.
No conspiracy theory. No, just Jason's fighting off people from the 1960s Batman show. Yeah, Michael Jackson was in town doing a show, and then it happened, and obviously, like, he wanted to get back home to Los Angeles. As guests, he had Marlon Brando, and I believe it was Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor or Elizabeth Hurley? Elizabeth Taylor. I think she's old, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
They obviously couldn't get out of New York at the time, so what they did was they bought a rental car, and they did a road trip. Could you imagine that road trip? Just Michael Jackson, Marlon Brando, and Elizabeth Taylor, just
Yeah, so if
in
you,
a small rental car.
So have you raped any monkeys recently?
Like, I
Did you
just
see-
can't. That
did
should
you
be
see-
made into a film.
Did you see that story in the newspaper about the spectre of Michael Jackson raping
Oh, that
some
was
guy's
brilliant.
monkey?
What?
Here's the thing.
Brilliant.
In the newspaper, some guy insists that he went into a room where his monkeys were sort of doing their thing, and they were getting really upset, and he saw a spectre of,
Yeah.
of Michael Jackson raping
What?
his monkey. Yeah.
Meth is a powerful drug.
Right, yeah.
What's
I know
Gearsden doing?
Gearsden's throwing this stuff out here like that.
Yeah,
He's
mate.
just covering everything for us with those buttons.
Check it out. I'm
So
going to be
they-
like in Call of Duty and shit in a minute. Hang on.
Matt, the exact point was that when Washington was burned in 1814, there were Canadians in the force. So
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
Canada was involved in
Technically right then. Yeah, very good.
incursion into American soil.
Yeah, very good.
Apparently,
You
a
also
bunch of
invade
times.
America.
apparently, a
Like,
bunch of
seriously.
times America tried to take Canada, and they expected like like people who weren't native to Canada, so like the French and so on, to just go, "Oh, this is awesome!
That's the faceless
brilliant."
child.
I'll stop messing about with it now. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Are you
So
my
next
mummy?
week, we need to learn that visual gags don't work on a podcast.
they don't. We haven't learned this in the last few episodes. I don't think we're going to learn it by now.
Right, we're still gonna do
What we should do is we should get someone to capture the visual gags, and then we'll put them on the website to accompany the podcast, just like Hollywood Babylon.
Or what we do is we describe them like the way that they describe pictures for the blind when they're watching TV.
Gearsden now looks like the faceless child.
I once had this really weird experience where we watched an episode of Lost when it was being shown on Sky One, and there was a cock-up at Sky's end, and the first 15 minutes of the episode came with a visual description as well as all the
Wow.
dialogue and so on. It was really, really strange because we didn't. It was just they were talking about people appear on an island. It's like, that's weird. Lost
Some
doesn't
of them
tend
are
to
lost.
have. Yeah, Lost doesn't tend to have that kind of voiceover, and it continued and continued, and it was such an odd experience until they fixed it at the advert break.
That
Interesting.
would be interesting.
Yeah,
One thing we need to talk about, and I sort of kind of saw Brittany with it in her hand there. Vaping, the new craze. Vaping.
It is vaping.
Oh yeah.
You're not
yeah.
killing everybody around you with one of these.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying this just because we got 50 quid for posting a thing about vaping. We established that we are whores. And
We are.
into any sort of sponsorship. So if you want to give us money for anything,
Yes.
I'll sponsor one.
The writers actually do use these. So, yeah, if we got the sponsorship for it, then yeah, we really do use these, and I am proud of it.
vaping, it's the future.
It
it really is. It's proper. It's the kind of thing you'd have expected to see in an 80s sci-fi film.
It is, isn't it? It's mental. The amount of people with them as well is unbelievable now.
I actually think it might actually be the death of the tobacco industry because there's so many people who have taken to it now that it might actually get rid of people
I think-
smoking.
Yeah, but it won't be the death of the tobacco industry because that's still the best source of nicotine, isn't it? That's the
Yeah,
best
we
way
still
to
need to
extract
use
it.
that, like, because they come in liquids like this. And so I've got, the 2.4 milligrams of nicotine in my bottle here. I don't know if you can really see it, but yeah,
I
it
didn't
comes like
realise-
that.
I didn't realize this, but apparently pure nicotine is a poison and it will kill
Yeah.
you.
Yes,
Like, it
one
will
teaspoon
absolutely-
will
yeah.
kill you.
Just
Yeah, like
completely.
Yeah, chocolate.
Yeah,
apparently.
you like chocolate. 1 teaspoon of chocolate kills you.
No.
Same with nicotine.
No, but chocolate is a poison, and the dose that will kill humans
The cacaos.
is £22 in a day.
Wow.
Gearsden challenge.
Wow.
22 points to shot.
Hang on a minute. No, I
Challenge
won't be doing that. We had a donut challenge the other week.
Oh
Last
my
week, wasn't
god,
it?
we should set a challenge for you each week.
Definitely.
We
Eat
have-
21.5 pounds of chocolate.
I can't do that. No, I did a donut challenge the other day, didn't we, Matthew?
Yeah, we have a thing now where we obviously challenge each other to do stupid things, and the other day was who can eat a donut without licking their lips, and I failed miserably. You don't know how hard it is not to eat a donut without licking
I
your
steamed
lips.
through it.
Have
There's
you
also-
have you ever done the Pizza Hut challenge where you go for the you can just go up and have as many slices as you want during the lunch thing, and you've got
Yeah.
to eat you just have a competition across the entire 3-4 hours to see how much pizza you can eat.
Oh yeah, we've done
one,
that
and we're violently
in
sick
college.
afterwards.
Well, there was
But,
there
yeah.
was a chili challenge that occurred, weren't there, Matthew?
Yeah, I don't know where the video. Oh, the video's around here somewhere. I've got to put it on YouTube at some point.
Yeah, there's videos of me eating a hybrid chili, which is crossed with Naga and
Scotch bonnet.
a Scotch bonnet.
Ouch.
That was also soaked in Ass Blaster sauce,
Ass blaster.
which was killer. And I ate that bad boy, and I drank that sauce, and I plowed through like a trooper.
Yeah, you drank.
Good job.
You also drank 2 gallons of milk and about 2 ice creams. afterwards.
It was rough stuff,
We-
that.
Fair enough.
We've got the Buffalo Wild Wings challenge here, where I guess they bring out a whole plate. I think it's like 25 or 50 of their wings, of their hottest wings, and they're piping hot right out of there, which makes it even harder, obviously. And you can't drink water, you can't do anything, and I think you've got like 15 minutes to eat them all.
Oh,
It's
smashed your me, lass.
ridiculous.
I'd smash him.
And
No, you wouldn't. You're lying.
Yeah, I would.
How
Yeah,
many-
well-
Gearsden would probably be able to do that.
How many hot wings? How many hot wings?
I can't remember if it's like 25 or 50. I can't remember how many it is because I will never do it for a T-shirt. I'm
Okay,
sorry, guys.
Here's the challenge: 50 hot
Yeah.
wings in 15 minutes.
50?
The hottest.
Yeah, that's what she
You
said.
mean,
50.
it said 25?
That's
It's like I
nothing,
can't
mate,
remember if
they're
it's
tiny.
25 or 50.
Right, well,
Nothing. I don't think I could eat 50 wings of any variety in an hour.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Fly
Alright.
wings.
Well, we'll see.
And I'm not doing it for a T-shirt.
Brittany will do it for some research, and then we'll get you
Yeah.
Gearsden.
Hang on a minute. I'll tell you what, lass. Right, at end of month, I'm jet setting on a big USA road trip, right? I'm going to San Francisco, I'm going to LA, I'm going to Vegas, right? If you can find out where the best food challenge is, and I'll set that challenge, and I'll complete it for like Geek Pride and shit.
Yeah.
I will do it.
Yeah.
I will
Yes.
research that.
There we go.
All right. So
We will. Yes.
I'll get it going. No, I'm not much of a seafood fella. I can't do seafood unless it's in batter, unless it's from chip shop. I can't do it.
We had this conversation. I like seafood when it's battered.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't do a sushi challenge then?
Oh mate,
Right.
like, I tried to have some sushi right once and it was bad. I felt horrible. Oh, it was all nasty. I don't know how people could eat it, but you know, another man's meat's another man's poison, isn't it?
Which
And all that.
which fish was it? Because there's a massive difference between having
Yeah.
the tuna, the salmon, the eel, the octopus.
Squid.
It was one I got from Tesco. I don't know what are in it.
You know, if you're eating sushi in a landlocked
horse then.
state, you're already screwed.
You're
You
eating
really
sushi
should
what?
not eat. You should not eat sushi in a landlocked state.
So
Honestly.
what are those states in the middle? I don't know what. What's
Yeah,
the middle?
like,
Right,
like
yeah.
Colorado or Nevada. You know, let's say
It's
you're
gotta be
going to
near-
Vegas.
near the coast.
and- yeah, if you're near the coast, like here in Hawaii, we get great sushi and sashimi. It's great because it's all fresh, and you can actually see them bring the fish into the restaurant right after being caught.
I thought
So-
that the sushi experts say you've got to age the fish a little bit to make certain that the rigor mortis has set out.
No idea.
Yeah,
It
there's something
depends on
like
the
that.
fish. Yeah,
remember-
it kind of all depends on the fish, though.
Fair enough.
Do you remember Idiot Abroad, where he went to Japan? And they brought in that fish that'd been in a box and it'd been like dead for a year.
Yeah.
And like Japanese folk were like going, "Oh yeah, it's pretty mega. This it costs a bomb. It's a proper delicacy." Well, I'm sorry. Like if you've had something like a fish rotting for a year in the box, that's not a delicacy.
Have you
That's
not heard of
illness.
Have you not heard of the Iceland one where they get a shark and they bury it underground for like a year, allow it to ferment, and then they dig it back up, and that is their delicacy?
Oh,
Ugh.
that's not nasty. That.
Come on, that is properly metal.
Why is every food that's known as a delicacy absolutely disgusting?
I know, right?
Hey, have you had Uncle Joe's mint
Scotland.
balls?
No, I haven't. I don't think
Right,
that's a
well they're from
delicacy.
Wigan, and they're a delicacy. So winter nips, and they're a delicacy. Matthew, you know what I'm on the
Not
road,
I'm
man.
sorry, Uncle Joe's mint balls sound like something, you know, you're forced to go around this old man's house and lick his fucking man.
You've
Go,
got
mate.
a point on the doll where he touched you in court.
No. It's right. You get a tin of mints from Wigan called
Right.
Uncle Joe's Mint Balls. You've got a friendly old man on the front. He's got a big white top hat on, and they're pretty good mints. The mints are pretty mega, and they also do winter nips, which are like little pips. They're nice when you've got a cough in winter, right? My nan used to give them to me when they had a cough. Winter nips. Matthew's had some winter nips. You liked them, didn't you?
Gearsden, show me on the wiki where they touched you. Was it here?
It didn't touch.
Was it here?
Mate, no one's touched me nowhere, mate.
You've made the Wookiee cry now.
Yeah.
I'm the Wookiee. That's
Sexual
the name I
harassment
write under. Oh, am I sexual harassment Wookiee now? Wait a minute, because that's seriously what I write under. I write under the Wookiee. So,
I like the idea of being the sexual harassment Wookiee.
sexual harassment Wookiee.
If someone touches you in a way you don't like,
Yes.
Geek Pride, sponsored by the sexual harassment Wookiee.
Oh, the camera's buggered up again.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Sexual harassment panda.
Sorry, probably
I
won't be
just
going on for
remembered that.
too long. We don't want to take up all our
Oh yeah.
bandwidth,
All of our space.
all of our
Yeah,
space.
right.
Unless we get sponsored.
Exactly.
Sponsor us.
Volcano.
So, do we have a slanderous note to
Lazarus.
go out on then?
Oh, we do need to do that, don't we?
We need a slanderous note on which to end.
Hmm.
Batman, you suck.
Whoa.
says Superman.
Whoa, cowboy.
That's not slander, that's heresy.
Hey. I don't know, that's how much treason.
Yeah, exactly.
Clark Kent did your mum.
Yeah, wind your
That's
neck in, yeah.
Miss-
I was
Miss-
reading-
Mrs. Wayne loved it.
I was reading a no. Respect for the dead, man. Respect for the dead. There was an amazing bit in I'm collecting the Marvel graphic novel collection, which is like these things. I don't know if they're in America, but they're in England. They're re-releasing graphic novels in this hardback form, and they're lovely. They've got nice pictures on the spine and stuff. And Thor loses his identity as Donald Blake. If you don't know anything about Thor, this is going to confuse you. But he goes to Nick Fury to get a new costume, at like Civvies, and they put him in a t-shirt and sort of tie his hair back. And Nick Fury's like, down the shoulders, you're still going to get recognised. And he fishes around in his desk and gets out a pair of glasses. And he says, these works on the other guy. And you're like, what? That's crazy. Because this is a Marvel comic. But anyway, he gives it to him. And he's like, right, I've got to go to a press release. So see your way out. Thor opens the door, knocks a man over with glasses, short black hair, wearing a suit. And he's like, oh, sorry, I'm really clumsy. He's picking up his papers. There's a woman with him. And she's like, come on, Clark, we're going to miss the conference. I was like, that's amazing.
Oh,
That is pretty cool.
nice.
I will write on Geek Pride which one it is, because it's over here somewhere. But
So, we need a slanderous note.
we do
to
need
end
a
on.
slanderous...
We need...
You can not working.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
fucking buggered.
Well, I've...
Gearsden's being buggered. Show us on
I've
the
not been-
doll where they.
I'm sick of it.
Here?
I've
not
heard
been
that
buggered.
Gearsden is regularly buggered.
Was it here?
Well, there's
Gearsden?
the slant. There's the
Hey,
slanderous.
hey, do you
Buggered
know
a
what?
Wookiee.
If anyone tried bugging me here, it was you, Matthew, on your birthday.
I did
Yeah, you
not
did.
try to
I
bugger
think,
you.
Matt, that's exactly
This is
what
the
we
slander,
heard.
yeah.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah,
You
you-
Matt
violated
Geary,
the Wookiee.
buggerer.
There was definitely no.
You tried
buggery
to
going on
when
on
I told you to get off that table. Then you got hold of me, you went behind me, started trying to kiss me on my face, trying to fiddle me willy and everything.
And I heard when he finished, he went, Hadouken! True story.
True story. Excellent.
I
And
like
on
it.
On that slanderous note, we end the Geek Pride podcast. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I've been Sean Wallace.
I've been Brittany Gregan.
I've been you, Cam.
I've been Matt.
You've been
He's been you, Cam, and I've been Mike Orvis. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you very much.